board button. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to another Black Belt Business webinar. And today, being the end of the year, or almost the end of the year, how quickly has it gone, by the way? We're going to talk about planning, and I'm going to take you into a bit different ideas and ways of planning for 2016. It's something that I've been working on for a while now. It's something I've done for the last 20 years myself in martial arts, but I really want to think about planning for 2016 completely and utterly different. And I am doing that differently this year. And I want to share with you what I'm actually going to be doing to help you get the goals that you probably deserve that you actually get. So let's start as usual. Before any webinar, if you've been on my webinars before, this webinar is designed to help make 2016 the best year ever. We take full responsibility for the positive changes in your business after the implementation of these ideas. And a really key word is the word implementation there. I should have that underlined and bold, but I'm going to talk about that a bit later. Guys, you should have a GoToMeeting control panel button there. You'll see that you've got a minimize button. There's a raise your hand around here. You can type your answers around there as well. If you're off Facebooking and emailing and off doing other stuff while you're trying to listen to this, guys, my recommendation is just focus. For 1 hour, this will give you some really cool stuff to work on. So try and bring the focus back onto here if you can. Get rid of distractions and let's get the focus in. So let's have a good session, guys. That's the easiest way to put it. For those who don't know me, I'm a business owner. I also run a martial arts school. I've now got 150 students. This is an older picture. I haven't gone and got my new picture yet. I recently graded to 4th degree in my martial arts style, which is Kwan Nam Hapkido. And I've also had a great year because I've actually had 2 students grade up to black belt this year. The first one's in Queensland for Kwan Nam Hapkido. So it's been a really interesting year. And I also call myself a chief business instructor. I don't like using the word coach. I think coach is a bit too fluffy for what I do. I love getting hands-on with clients and, making sure they're doing the techniques correctly and show them how to do it right. So a bit more than that. So anyway, this is about you, not about me. Guys, what's my levels of expectations for you guys? Well, quite simply, interaction is key. I want you to interact with me during this session. Write plenty of notes, and I want you to change your thinking. I'm actually going to be a bit forefront today. I mean, I'm going to be a bit blunter than normal, and people are going to go, what, you're not blunt enough? I really want you to actually take on board the things I'm actually going to be telling you today. Half of the webinar is on mindset because reality is getting your goals really hasn't got to do with the goal and the actions you need to take. It's about having the mindset to take those actions. So I'm going to take you a bit through that. So some of you guys may have already heard me talk about some of these mindset stuff, so please bear with me. But that's my level of expectations for you guys today. I really want you to interact. I want you to ask questions. There is a questions box there. Please write it out. So while I'm talking about that, I would love you to actually write into the questions box what you would really love out of today. If you turn around and invested 1 hour with me today, what is it that you want to take away from today? That will give me an idea on where I can actually head the webinar. If everyone turns around and goes, right, you want me to show you how to make the best coffee in the world, maybe not the right webinar for it, but I'll do my best to show you what you need to do to make the best coffee in the world. So let's write in what you're actually looking for out of today. And, I really want you to be upfront what that is because I don't want to waste your time. So let's get it out there, guys. All right, excellent. So Jocelyn wants some marketing ideas, clarity in planning next year, and I'm definitely going to work on that. I am going to give you some marketing ideas as well. Knowledge on where and how to take my business to the next level, absolutely happy with that. Clarity of vision for future, absolutely, guys. I want to give you a bit of clarity today on a couple of major items about goals. So developing referral relationships, cool. Let's have a chat about that when we talk about marketing, for planning for marketing. That's quite easy to do. So, all right. I know you guys are probably still typing or working it out, so I do need to keep going. So here's the thing that I'm going to throw out there, guys, and I will put a poll up now. There's my polls here. Select the poll. I'm going to ask you: did you achieve everything you wanted to in 2015? Now, don't forget, we still have 4 or 5, couple of more weeks. I want you to be realistic. If you can get everything done in the next couple of weeks, let me know. So if you can actually just do the poll, just click it on your screen. I'm expecting what I think most of the answers will be. And, let's see. Yeah, and that's what I was roughly expecting. So thanks, everyone. Let me just close that and let me just share your results. Hopefully you can see that. Guys, that's the actual expectation I was. Oops, where's that poll gone? There it is. That was the level of expectations I was actually expecting. This morning I had it just yes and no. But then I put, look, let's put some in there because you've probably got some of the stuff that you wanted to achieve there. I'm glad that people that said yes, that's great. And look, there's no one with no. And that's what I was actually expecting. Some, but not all. And that is the majority. So the key question I need to ask, and this is the next question I want to actually ask you guys, is why not? Let me just go hide results. Why not? Why didn't you get what you need to? Why didn't you get everything done? And just whack it in the questions there, guys, because, getting goals is not just about planning. It's about actually making sure you want to get the goals and not let anything step in your way. What stopped you of achieving everything that you wanted to do? And whack it in the questions there for me. What is it? What did stop you from getting everything you wanted to at the beginning of the year? I use the word excuse. It may not have been an excuse, so please don't take it the wrong way. Told you I'll be a bit blunt today. What is it that stopped you from getting everything you wanted out of 2015? Excellent. Some of the goals weren't in alignment with your values and got bogged down in mundane work. Absolutely, guys. I've got my notes here and I've just got life gets in the way. That might be a good way to put it. Life does get in the way. Totally and utterly agree with that. Lack of clear goals. Tried to do new marketing, but it didn't work. Great. I'm happy to talk to you a bit more about that later, Nikki. That's a good point. Change of priorities. Things change, guys. A year is a long time. Lack of specific focus, distracted by needs of other. And I'm actually glad you wrote that, Jocelyn. And the reason I actually say I'm going to write that, because guess what I'm going to talk about right now? The funny thing is, guys, is we don't like letting people down. Majority of us don't. We have a conscience and we don't like letting people down. But you know what? We are very, very good at letting ourselves down. We will let ourselves down every day of the week to make sure other people are happy. And I really want you to take this on board. We let ourselves down. It is just reality. I've never come across a client that actually doesn't let themselves down all the time. They put others first. They put their clients first. They put their family first. They put a whole heap of things first, and they find it's okay to let yourself down. And that's just inbred from us from an early age. Be courteous to others. Make sure you're there for others. Make sure you're caring. Make sure you're all of that. So reality is, when we get in business, we all of a sudden just make sure that our customers are always first. We make sure that we actually focus on them. We make it okay to let ourselves down. And we set these audacious goals or big goals or have this great plan and have this great vision. But reality is, we let ourselves down because we let the mundane, we let the life get in the way, we let customers get in the way, the business get in the way. We allow directions to be changed. We allow that stuff to actually happen to us because we're okay with letting ourselves down. And I really want you to think about this. Are you okay with letting yourselves down? Are you going to set this 2016 plan for your business, and are you going to be okay at the end of the year again to go, oh, I got some of them, but you know what, I let life got in the way and it was a bit mundane. Are you going to get caught in that cycle? And let's face reality, this is a cycle that we all get into, some way, shape, or form. I'll be the first one to admit that I get into that cycle as well. We get into a cycle of it's okay to let ourselves down. We get into we're creatures of habit. We get into the same routine week in, week out. And, you know, it is okay to let ourselves down. We tell ourselves that. And I want you to actually get fired up. I want you to get fired up now. And whether you put this on your wall, on your shower, on your roof before you go to bed, or in your bedroom up on the roof, and I want you to write, it's not okay to let yourself down. You know, you've got to give yourself time. And, you know, when I do a discipline workshop about discipline, I'm going to talk a bit more about discipline today. But I want you to actually have a look at breaking that cycle by saying, no, it is not okay to let yourself down. It is not okay. And I use the 80-20 rule. I say 80% helping other people out, 20% working on you. And if you can get that rule in place, it will make a massive, massive difference to not just your plans, but your business as well. If you invest 20% of your time, one day a week, working on your business, not in it, you know, I hate that analogy, but everyone uses it. It's been done to death. But if you can actually spend 20% of that time working on you, working on the business, working on that stuff, rather than actually just looking after customers, looking after family, you will find a massive change in your business. And when we look at planning, I want you to look at planning as I'm going to make sure I'm going to put this plan in place, because in that 20% of the time that I'm going to work on me is also working on that plan that you actually put in. And I really want you to actually think about this. And it's not okay to let yourself down. You know, I really want you to have a look at that. Now, some people might say, you know, but it makes me feel great, you know, helping other people out. I totally and utterly agree. I love what I do. I love working with you guys. I love working with all my clients. I love working with my students. But at the end of the day, you've also got to have time for you, because, you know, you've got to make sure that you're achieving what you need to. And Steve and Jocelyn know this about talking about values and talking about everything else. You know, you've got to make sure that you have your time to work on what you actually have to work on. And this is extremely important to understand with planning, guys, because you know what? If it's okay letting yourself down, don't set yourself up a massive plan for next year. Save yourself a whole heap of time and energy. Save yourself a whole heap. You don't need to actually set up a massive plan if you know you're not going to work on it hard, or if you don't really want what you actually put on there. So very important. Because at the end, it's up to you. If you're thinking the same way, you're going to get the same results. I'm not going to go into this. You've probably seen this many, many times. You know, I want you to make a choice. I want you to make a choice today about, you know, the same old thinking gives you the same results. So I really want you to actually think about this and have a look at that point. Because here's the thought for 2016. And if there's something else you want to put on the wall, this is something I want you to actually think about. You deserve what you tolerate. You know, if you're tolerating your customers walking over you, if you're tolerating a bank account that's not working, if you're tolerating yourself and beating yourself up all the time because you're not exercising, or you're not eating healthy, or you're not investing the time in the business that you're supposed to, I'm going to be blunt. You deserve what you tolerate. You know, you need to stand up and not tolerate the stuff. If you wanted to get some goals done in 2015, but you didn't do it, don't tolerate that. For 2016, say no, hell no. I'm not going to tolerate that. You know, I deserve more, so I'm not going to tolerate things. You know, and I really want you to take this on board, that, you know, you do deserve what you tolerate. You know, go after stuff, guys. I really want you to actually focus on your 2016 plan and go after it. You don't need this. And, you know, it's amazing when people actually learn and really understand what I'm trying to say here, that all of a sudden the penny drops and it's like, hell no, I'm now fired up. I'm going to make sure this happens, and I'm not going to let anyone step in my way to get it done. Because if you're not excited about what you're putting in place for the business, then you know what? It's not going to work for you. So whack this up on the wall as well. You deserve what you tolerate. You know, put that up there and sit there. And the next time you have an angry customer yelling and screaming at you, and you're bending over backwards to help them like nothing else, you know, do you really want to tolerate that? You don't deserve it. I know that for sure. You don't deserve it. Let's go and focus on what you deserve. This is really, really important to understand, guys. So um, let's talk about discipline. I'm going to give you 6 keys of discipline because I can talk to you about all the tools for planning as much as you want. I'm going to give you a whole heap of tools on how to set up your plan, how you should look at your plan, how you should focus on that plan. But reality is if you don't have the discipline to do it, then it's pointless. And planning, I'll be honest, planning is pretty much 10% actually doing the plan and actioning it, 90% turning up to make sure you actually do it. And I really do believe this. I'll talk about martial arts in a bit. I've got a slide here talking about martial arts in a minute about why people get their black belt and why people don't. If you want a black belt in business, there's things that you actually need to do. So, don't waste your time setting up goals if you know you're going to stick into that same cycle we spoke about before. Let's get rid of that cycle and make the decision today that you're not going to fall into that cycle. Have friendly reminders about what's going to actually happen. And these are the things that I want you to think about for this plan moving forward. And I really want you to think about this. If you follow these 6 steps, I can guarantee you'll get everything you want off that plan. I can guarantee it. You'll have all the marketing in the world. You'll have all the sales in the world. You will have it if you follow that plan by doing these 6 points of discipline. And the first point is action any day of the week will be so better than planning. And as I said, 10% on the plan. That's all you need to worry about. 90% is action. 90% is actually doing something. Everyone talks about martial arts being discipline. I do not find martial arts discipline. I have absolutely, I'm not going to say no discipline, but the difference between me having a black belt and say a white belt is I just kept turning up to classes. That's the only difference. If you want to complete your plan by 2016, if you plan to do some stuff on your goals that week, you turn up and do them, I can guarantee you'll get your plan. I can guarantee you will underestimate what you can actually achieve in 12 months, always. Definitely underestimate 2 to 3 years. But in 12 months, you'll underestimate what you can actually achieve on that plan. Because if you turn up to it, I can tell you now you will actually get it. And, the 3% of black belts that are in our organization, the only thing different between them and someone else is they've just turned up to every class. Not every class. I didn't turn up to every class. I wanted a life as well. But I turned up to the classes. I turned up a minimum of 2 nights a week and did it. So, guys, discipline is all about turning up. That's the first thing. And then you're going to go, oh, but I need discipline to turn up. Then I need discipline to remind myself to then turn up, so I make sure I turn up. Guys, you can actually follow that chain as much as you want. So here's the thing I want you to think about. Point number 2 about getting your plan done and having the discipline to do it is focus on the results. So many people ever sit here and focus on the task at hand. They procrastinate about, oh my goodness, I've got to do that task, but I've got this customer order, I better do that, and that task is going to take me forever. They procrastinate about that. Don't think about the task. Never think about the task. Think about the results. If you know you want an exercise regime, you like my little doggy here who's pumping iron, whenever I'm lying in bed, and I'm going to share what I do, whenever I'm lying in bed, the alarm goes off like this morning at 20 past 5. After a really crappy sleep, and I can tell you now, it was a crappy sleep last night for me. I was meeting one of my clients down at the bush to go for a bush run this morning at 6 a.m. I could have actually given myself all the excuses. I could have thought about the pain of actually running through that bush, which I knew was going to be painful and how tired I was. And I'm thinking, no, the outcome. How good am I going to feel after I do it? How awesome am I going to feel after doing it? And you guys know, think about exercise. You guys know, after you finish doing the exercise, yes, it's painful throughout, but 20 minutes after, you're feeling really good. This is the same with your plan. This is the same for your business. Any task that you put in, think about the result. Don't think about the actual task as itself. If you know you shouldn't be eating if you know you shouldn't be eating junk and you're looking at that chocolate bar that's sitting in the fridge, reality is think about the result. Think about how bad you're going to feel after eating that chocolate bar. Think about if you've got a plan to put in place and you go, oh, I'll worry about that tomorrow because I'm too busy. I want you to think about those results. But hang on a second, by me implementing that, that's going to get me way closer to my goals. So that could generate way more work for me. Or ultimately the result or the outcome of that's going to be huge. Whenever you look at discipline, focus on the results. Don't focus on the task at hand because the task is always going to be painful. Not always. That's probably the wrong word. Trust me, I don't enjoy running through the bush and spider webs and having spider webs dripping off me or spiders dripping off me all the way around the bush run this morning, getting laughed at by my client. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I don't think about that. I think about the results at the end, and it makes such a difference. If you've got to go to a martial arts class and you've been tired and it's a hard day at work, I can guarantee every time that you finish that class, you go, I'm glad I did that. I guarantee. You want to go to a party and you're thinking, I really don't want to go to this party, but you turn up anyway. You probably, after that party, go, hey, I'm glad I went. That was awesome. I'm really pleased about that. So I really want you to think about your plan. If this is a good plan that you set up for 2016, think about the results. Always have them in your mind. It will make such a difference to actually achieving what you need to. Next point, third point of discipline is understand reality. And you guys have probably seen this analogy. People only see the guy driving around or the girl driving around in their fancy BMW. They don't see the 10, 15 years of hard work, of almost going bankrupt, of 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, busting their ass. They don't see that. People only see the top. And unfortunately, today's society, when we're setting goals, they want their goals quicker than what they're actually able to get. Your business may not be able to generate the cash flow that you need for another couple of years until it gets settled down. You have to face reality with discipline. You really do. So I want you to think about the delayed gratification. I really want you to think about, what it actually takes to get where you need to and to get your plans into place. Reality is the plan's going to take a while to get. Pace yourself. It is a marathon. Business is a marathon every day of the week. So I want you to think about reality for discipline point of view. If you're expecting to go out and run your ass off for a week and expect to drop 20 kilos, it's not going to happen. It's just not. Same with business. If you're expecting to put a marketing campaign in place, unless you've got a crap load of money for something like Google AdWords or something to that effect, money always will get you quicker to your goals than what you're expecting. Unless you've got a ton of money to drop on that, marketing is going to take 3 to 6 months to put in place. It really will. And I want you to understand that when setting up the plan. You've got to be consistent and continue at it to go from there. So I really want you to think reality. Number 4 is association. Who you hang out with is very important to get your goals. If you're hanging out with the wrong people and all of a sudden you have your friends ringing you up saying, hey, we should go out to the pub, we should be doing this, we should be going here, we should be going there, we should be doing that. You know what? Who you hang out with is so important to make sure you get your goals at the end of the day. It's so important for discipline. I've got some awesome friends. I love hanging out with those awesome friends, but they're very workplace mentality. They're very, very much workers mentality. I'm happy to go and work my 8 hours a day for someone else, and then I'm happy to go spend my money on all the luxury items. I don't like, I love catching up with them, but I don't associate with them when I want to get my plan done. I associate myself with people that are going to get there. And, if I'm by myself, I don't associate myself with, the crap on TV. Did you know, and I actually only recently found out, there's programs out there on Dating Naked. Oh my goodness, reality TV on Dating Naked. Are you kidding me? I don't associate myself with that type of stuff. I don't associate with the sitcoms or the dramas because that's all they are. They're just drama. If I'm out running, I'm not associating, I'm loving out there with the trees, but I'm associating myself with, the last book that I've run, Seth Godin, listened to. I listened to Triggers from Marshall Goldsmith. If you associate yourself with these right people, it's going to be so much easier to get your plan. It's going to be so much easier to have the discipline put in place. So associate yourself with the right people. Have your friends, have your all of that, have your family. But again, to get your goals and to get your plan in place, be around the right type of people, to associate yourself with those right type of people. The other one is, and this is so important for discipline, planning, the whole lot, keep it simple, guys. So many people write 60-page business plans and do full SWOT analysis, and that's great. It's great to get you in the clear mindset, but to get a plan in place, keep it simple. Do not overcomplicate anything. If you there's that good old Japanese proverb: if you want to reach the mountain, just put one foot in front of the other, or whatever that is. Someone might tell me differently what that is, but and that's what it's all about. Keep it so simple it's not funny. Do not make it hard. And I'm going to show you some really cool, simple ways to plan and what you should actually be doing from a planning point of view. And, if you can follow it and put the discipline in place to follow the plan that I'm going to show you and what I suggest, oh my, you're going to smash it every day of the week. I can guarantee it, every day of the week. Keep this so simple it's not funny. Keep the task very, very simple. Extremely important. And I'd love to go into a lot more detail about consequences, but reality is the reason why we let ourselves down so much is we don't have any consequences. The reason we don't have some really cool discipline in place is we don't have those consequences. Guys, 75% of people on this call got some of their goals for what they wanted to in 2015, didn't get their others. And there are reasons why, excuses why, whatever you want to do. But reality is if you had consequences there, I would guarantee 100% of the time you'd get it. And, I always use the analogy. If you don't double I use this analogy, right, at the beginning of the January, if you don't double your sales by the end of January, right, the consequences is you'll lose both your legs. I can tell you now, you would bust your ass to make sure you'll double your sales. And you know what? You'll probably find the ways to be able to do it. And every waking moment, you'll be sitting there working out how to double your sales. I can guarantee it because you've got some really bad consequences. Now, that's literal. That's not literal. Sorry, I don't. That's not going to happen to you. Touch wood, it doesn't. But you know what? What happens to your lifestyle if you don't increase your sales in your business? What happens if you don't get that marketing in place? What happens if you don't, be able to sell and all of that? The consequences are there, but are they painful enough? Are they actually painful enough for those consequences? So, I can talk about the results as much as we want and always focus on the results. Reality is most people dwell on the consequences. What happens if you don't get it? So go give yourself some consequences to do it. And Kevin's on the call. One of the things after I actually went to business coach training with Kevin, one of the things we all had to do was have some consequences if we didn't achieve a certain level in our coaching practice back many, many years ago. Mine was to wax my back. Now, guys, I'm bald, or most of you guys know I'm bald. I'm not bald. My hair has gone to holidays to other places in my body. And reality is waxing my back was a bad consequence. I didn't hit the level that we needed to. I didn't hit that level. Guess what? I got my back waxed. I can tell you now that was a great consequence. Ladies, I bow down to you ladies who go out there and do that stuff. Oh my. I can tell you now the next month I had it. I made that fun consequences. But if you turned around and go, right, if I don't achieve my goal by the end of the quarter, by the end of March, if I don't achieve what I said I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get Nathan to take $2,000 off my credit card and go give it to charity. That would suck. That would suck for a small business. So you've got something there to drive you if you actually put it into place. And I really want you to think about this from a discipline point of view. The reason why martial arts is so disciplined is if you don't, put the effort in you need to, one, you won't get your next belt. Two, I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to make you do a whole heap of push-ups. And reality is you become a better person. There's consequences. If you swear in my school, you are going to get consequence. If you come up and say, hey, mate, not call me sir in my school, there are consequences. This is why the military and martial arts and all of that is so disciplined. This is why the martial arts can get people a black belt, because they've actually got some structure, i.e. the plan, which is what we're talking about today, and they've got some consequences. And guys, if you put these 6 points into this plan for discipline and be disciplined enough to get it, you're going to smash your plan. I don't care what plan it is, you're going to smash it. I can guarantee if you focus on that. So hopefully you got something out of the discipline, guys. I really do hope. I'm just going to take another sip of water while we move to the next slide. So here's the thing I want you to think about. You hear a lot of things about going and getting your why. Why do you want to have a successful business? Why are you on this planet for? What is the meaning of life and why are you here? There's a lot of stuff about why. I agree. Go and find your why. Go and find your purpose. I'm okay with that. The question you need to be asking, though, is not why. 5% is why. 95%, the question should be how. How? How do we actually get what we need to? How do we fulfill that purpose? How do we do this? If you change your questioning around move away from why and move to the how, I can tell you now it's going to make a lot of difference in you. Why do you want to get that plan? Why does it make it? Why? Because I might have a better lifestyle. I might have this. I might have that. That's great. You've worked that out. Right, I want a better lifestyle. I don't want to work as much. I want freedom in life. Honestly, that's 95% of what new clients tell me. That's what their why is. I want a business that just works without me. I want to have a better lifestyle. I want more money. I want time. I want freedom. Very rare I'll have someone go, I want world domination. So very rare that I get that. I mean, I've never had that. Don't spend all the time thinking about your why. Don't spend all your time humming on top of a mountain, meditating about why you want it. I know people go out there and talk about the universe and putting things out to the universe, which is the why. Go and do that. Put it out to the universe and then go, right, how do I actually make this happen now? How do I actually do it? And if you look at below and above the line behavior, I didn't actually put this slide in, but the how is always about taking accountability. The why is actually down below the line because you're thinking about the past or you're thinking about stuff that's not really reality. We want to talk about the how, and you may agree or disagree with this, but I can tell you now the results that I've got for clients this year based on the how has been incredible. How do we do this? Not why. Why didn't you do your homework this week? No, that's not the question we want. How do we actually get you to do the homework for next week? It's happened. It's in the past. Why is always in the past. You go and I'll talk to you guys. Why didn't you get your goals? I've already asked you that question. You gave me a whole heap of excuses, reasons, whatever, right? I'm not going to go into that anymore. The thing that I want to ask you is, how do we make sure that doesn't happen again? And I want you to answer that question. How do we make sure that that doesn't happen again? You don't have to write the question on the GoToMeeting. I want you to think about this and write a massive big how up there. Everyone talks about dream goals, goal boards and all of that type of stuff and dream boards. If you're a visual type of person, that's fantastic. That's your why. You go put up a nice car up on your dream board. That's your why. The thing is, I would prefer you to put on your dream board is the how. How you're going to do it. And the hows would be writing things up there like, don't deserve what you tolerate. Writing things up there like a big how on the board. How are we actually going to achieve this? These are the things that are going to make a difference for you. And they really will. Some people need some really good mindset stuff, but I want you to think about the planning about how to actually achieve what you need to. And this is really important to actually understand. So here's another question I want you to do. And I've asked all my clients this question, and Karen's on the line and she's not allowed to answer it. She may have thought about it a bit more. What does your business do for you? And I want you to really, really understand this point. What does your business do for you? I really want you to think about that at this point in time. What does your business? Now, there's 4 things I want you to think about. And guys, I have to be back in about 20 seconds. Just bear with me for 20 seconds. Sorry about that. Back. All right. So here's the 4 boxes. I want you to tick one of them and one of them only. Is your business just a job? You have a comfortable lifestyle. You enjoy what you do. This is what I want for 2016. I enjoy my job. I enjoy working by myself. I have no aspirations of creating a massive corporation. I don't want world domination. I am just happy doing my 40, 50 hours a week. I love my job, which is my business. Is that what your business does for you? I want you to actually put a tick in that box if that's what it actually does, right? I really do. I want you to put a tick in that box. Is my business there? I'm a control freak. I'm never going to change being this is the second box. I'm a control freak. I'm never going to change that. I'm happy to work 70 hours a week. It gives me meaning. It gives me drive. It's my identity. My business is my identity. I'm happy just busting my ass off until I get to the point where I don't want to do it anymore. That's another tick box, and that's okay. Everything I'm talking about is okay. I meet people on all 4 of these boxes. The next box is, I am purely there to make a crap load of cash. Excuse my language, but that's what you're there for. My business is there to generate cash. I never want to turn it to a passive income. I want to build my business up, generate a whole heap of cash. I can go and invest the cash, and eventually I'll sell it for a nice little profit. That's another tick box. I want you to think about that. It's purely there for cash. There's some businesses out there. Mine's a perfect example. I Could probably franchise my business. I could probably grow it. I could probably have a passive income. I could probably do a whole heap of stuff that way. But reality is it will be extremely hard to get that done. So I know my business is a cash flow business. That's what it is. I swap time for money. It's a cash flow business. So my tick box is the third one, right? It's just purely there for cash. Here's the fourth one I want you to think about your business for is I want to generate it as a passive income. Time is more important for me. Time is way more important. I want to actually have more time back. Money is not really that important, but I need money to survive. So I'm happy to make a bit of money. I want to build my business up so it's a passive income. It can just be there. It can run by itself. Have a nice day. And there's businesses out there that can be easily done that. And that's the fourth tick box. I want you to put a tick in one of those boxes. Don't do it now. Have a think about it. Why is that? Because the planning I'm going to talk to you about in a second will determine on how you actually take the plan. If you want a cash flow business, then ideally you should not be focusing too much on team and systems. You should be focusing on generating marketing and sales and all of that. So that's what your plan needs to look at. If you want more time back, well, to get time back in a business, you need systems and team. Your plan should be more focused on how do we actually generate that? How do we generate more team? Eventually, the business will come into the end. The business will end up where it is. I've seen people generate a whole heap of cash and go, damn, I want to turn this into a passive income now, and they've got the cash to employ a team. Great. But I want you to think about 2016 and what your plan is around your business. What does it do for you? What is it going to do for this year? Is it going to generate a whole heap of cash? Is it going to generate a whole heap of time back, or is it a mixture of both? Right? And you can have a mixture of both. But the problem that I've got with a mixture of both is when you start focusing on too many areas of the business, you normally don't get as much done. And that's really important to understand. So I want you to tick one of those boxes. If you're just happy for it to cruise along, don't make the plan huge. Just make it simple. You love your job. It's your identity. Have a nice day. So have a think about which one of those it actually is before you build the plan. So here's the thing, guys, planning. And that's all the mindset stuff out of the way. Let's get into the fun stuff, right? This is what I want you to do. And this is the best way that I find that plannings work, and it works probably the best. The first thing you want to do is sit down and for 1 to 2 days and plan your whole 12 months. Now, let's get into a lot more depth on that. What holidays do you want? Go book them out in your diary for next year straight away. That's when I'm doing holidays. And if you need to book a holiday because you're traveling overseas, go book in a diary when you actually need to ring the travel agent. Right? Literally, book that task into your diary. That's all you need to do. Just book that task, and then when you're actually going on holidays. If you're sending out newsletters to your customers, put in every single month the newsletters. If you're going to send them monthly, if you're going to send them every 3 weeks, put in your diary already for next year when you need to do the newsletters, and then put another task in your diary and when you need to start the newsletter. So if you're sending them out at the end of the month, maybe at the beginning of the month, you need to say, right, I need to spend an hour creating the next newsletter. Okay? I want you to actually break up your year and just have a look at everything that you want to achieve in the year and immediately put it in your diary. And have 2 tasks for each of those, the completion of the task of what you want to achieve and when you're going to start it. And that's all you need to do. You don't need to get creative with planning. If you want to write a big list of everything that you want to do and drop out the task and all of that, I'd say go for it. You can sit there and go, right, I need a marketing plan. All right, so marketing plan might be January. Definitely write a whole heap of notes on marketing plan. Get a whole heap of notes down. But when you've got that marketing plan, go and put it in your diary. If you followed your diary and did 20% no compromise time, and I mean absolutely no compromise time, it's going to make a massive difference for you. You actually do the task. If you say you're going to get your newsletter ready and that's it in your diary, you get to that day and that time and you've got no compromise, you will not move that for anyone, you'll get the task done. You'll get the plan done. Right? I want you to think about making this really simple. So many people do a whole heap of stuff with planning and they get Excel spreadsheets. I can give you an Excel spreadsheet. I'll send one out to you next week, a good planning tool for Excel spreadsheet. I can send you out planning templates with Word documents. I've got all of that. And you know what? Quite simply, most of the time it doesn't work for people because they're either not looking at the Excel spreadsheet, and when they finally do, they're already 2 to 3 weeks behind because they never prioritize their actual planning correctly. You need to prioritize your plan. You have to actually put it in there. And that's the thing. Your plan can be simple or it could be hard, but as long as you put it in your diary and you have no compromise time. Customer ring up and says, look, I'm only going to give you a sale if I see you on Friday morning, but you've got him Friday morning to work on your plan or one of the planned tasks. You're the one letting yourself down by saying to that customer, oh, okay, I'll come and see you. The fear is I might lose that customer and lose money. But here's the repercussions of that. Normally, the task that you put in place is there to grow your business, and you could probably go and find 5 more customers for that. I sat down with a client yesterday, and I says, you've probably got a customer there that you're going to lose very shortly, and they've gone good because now I can actually go and find 3 or 4 others in that time that I'd normally spend with them to actually put on 3 or 4 better customers. That's the attitude you need to take. As I said, there's one thing that I've done with clients where I've put butcher paper up on the wall. We've segregated 52 weeks. We've got Post-it notes. We've written a task down, and every Post-it note was a task that they need to be done. So when they walked into the office on the week, they'd grab the Post-it notes for the week down, they'd put them on their desk, and that's what they've got to achieve. There's so many tools out there to do, and if you want ideas and if you've had plans that never work, send me an email. I'm happy to answer. No monetary obligations. I'll just answer you back, and I'm happy to give you all the tools that you want. Just email me. I will give those tools. I'll guarantee it. I'll get those tools for you. But you've got to actually use them. What's happening for me is on the first week of January, me and my admin lady, Ash, awesome lady, we're going to sit here for 2 days uninterrupted, and we are going to physically write out every newsletter we're going to be sending out, what's in those newsletters, what we need to do, what workshops we're going to be doing for next year, what clients we're going to be doing, when the clients are going to be booked in. I'm going to give every client their whole year booked out on when we're actually going to be seeing them. Can those change? Hell yeah. Of course we can move it around a tiny bit. It's not set in concrete. We can change stuff. We are going to get into so much depth when our KPIs are due. We are going to go into that level. Imagine you guys spent 2 days at the beginning of the year to really work out what you're actually wanting to achieve, and I'm going to show you what you do, how you do that in a second, and then you prioritize every single ounce of that, every webinar that needs to be happening throughout. This is what I'm going to be doing. I will know my year is set up. I will know it's all done, and I will guarantee I'll smash that plan, whatever my plan will be for next year, immediately. Well, not immediately, but over time, it will get done. So, guys, I really want you to think about doing that. Take a day or 2 days out and prioritize everything you want to do. Put it in your diary and follow it. It's such a fundamental. The reason that my clients get what they get is, by the way, Karen. Hi, Karen. Hopefully you're okay me using your picture. This is Karen, everyone. The reason why we actually the clients get the results is because I make planning simple. Instead of going, right, here's your 12-month plan, and you've got quarterly plans and all of that, I go, right, for you to get to your next belt level in black belt business, here are the strategies you need to get. And I've got one simple paper where I go, marketing, all right, you want to do newsletters. We'll do newsletters this belt. Okay, you need to do finance. Here's the KPIs we need to put in place. Right, that's what you need to do. And every session I meet up with a client, we just look at their belt level plans and what they actually need to achieve, find out what they want, find out what training they need, find out what's stopping them from actually getting there. And, 2 to 3 months later, especially on junior belts, they've actually done what they've had to, and they've got it done. Planning is so easy when you get your headspace right, when you get the right tools to actually get it done. And that's what I love about planning. I just look at my clients and go, right, this is what we're going to do. Do some of the plans change? Yes, I had a client who lost 50% of their staff in August. 50% gone. My goodness, our plan completely changed. They still achieved what they wanted to at the end of the year, though, and it's actually they're better off. I love getting phone calls like I got a couple of days ago, and it's gone, right, I've just checked my yearly figures up to December, and guess what? My business is now worth double on what I paid for it 9 years ago. And, that's just an amazing feeling. Why? Because they stuck to the plan and absolutely achieved it. And that's the thing I want you to think about. I'm happy to send you the one sheet of paper that I've got for belt level strategies. It's really simple, guys. Here is everything we need to do over the next 3 months, and then prioritize each one of those points. Clients don't get a choice because they leave things to the last minute and send me an email the day before grading saying, hey, I finally did the last point. We all do that. I'm not pointing any fingers, by the way. Let me just check here. Karen just messaged. So here's the thing I'm going to suggest. What you should do in that 1 to 2 days of planning, right, is sit down and go, right, what is my focus? Now, business has 7 key elements that you need to focus on in business. Every business has this. And the first thing is plan for your marketing. What marketing do you actually want to do? What's working at the moment? What's not working at the moment? What would you actually like to do? And actually sit down and look at some of the marketing that you should be doing in your business, and and write a list. Here's my current marketing, and here's my current marketing, and here's my marketing I want to do for 2016. And then have a look at that. Some ideas around marketing. Video is huge at the moment. Google retargeting is a really, really good thing. Google AdWords is still a good thing. I've had an air conditioning company that put a Google AdWords campaign in place. $200 a month they're spending, and they're making 3 to 4 sales a day. It's just sorry, they're getting 3 or 4 leads a day. Marketing will work if you invest the time in it. So sit down and look at what you want to do. SEO will take 9 to 12 months. If you never SEO'd your website, it'll take 9 or 12 months to put in place. Don't expect to pay someone $50 to do your SEO and expect it to work straight away. PR, get it out there to newsletters. Fiverr is a great tool if you've never heard of Fiverr. Communicate to your customers via newsletters. Let them know if that's what's right for you. Guys, what I do have, I have a 2-page document with it's 250 marketing ideas. I'll email it out to you after when I send out the replay. Look at the ideas and then put it in your diary when you're actually going to do that marketing. Write those ideas down. And if you go, but my business, I don't know what to do with my business. I know someone mentioned I'd like more marketing ideas for their business. Drop me an email. Tell me what business you're in, and I'll give you the top 3 marketing that work. I sat down with actually a client this morning already who's getting into a new business, and they've gone, what should I do for marketing? And I turned around and said, right, you're a service-based business, which means there's 3 things that you should probably do. 1, get your website up, but don't do anything with it. Just have it there as people can see that you're who you are, because you're a service-based business. It's about you, so people can see who you are. 2, go out and network the living hell out of the place for the next 6 months. Pick up as many business cards as you can. Go and meet people. Go and network the hell out of it. And then the 3rd thing you want to do is maybe generate a whole heap of target areas, maybe lists of businesses out there, and communicate with them, contact them, and actually go and book meetings in there to show them what you can actually do. The 4th thing, the website wasn't really the main thing. And the third main thing on that is strategic alliances. Go find 3 or 4 people that are happy to refer their database to you about your services, and have a nice day. And it's actually really easy to implement all of that. It'll take 3 to 6 months to get done, but once it's done, it's phenomenal on what can actually happen. So marketing, just do that when you're planning. Just sit down and write marketing up on a whiteboard. Write what you're currently doing. Write what you want to do, and just boom, put it in your diary. Same with sales. Look at your sales. Write sales up on the wall, on the whiteboard now, and focus on what you want to get done in sales. I highly recommend databases. The biggest thing I'd recommend is databases. Sales is all about communication. Have you got a sales process? If someone rings you up and they want to meet you for a quote or something like that, do you send them out an email to say, looking forward to it, here's where we're meeting, here's the time, this is what we're going to go through, and by the way, at the end of the sales session, I'm going to actually ask you to buy. You write that in an actual email. Have your processes. Sales is all about processes. Put maybe on your plan, review your sales process. I've got a really good one that works every time. I changed the decking company's business overnight. I increased their conversion rate from 12% to 34% overnight by putting a decent sales process in place, and a good follow-up process in place. Good database to remind you on when to follow people up, and a good process for sales every day of the week. And I really want you to think about that. A good database and process for sales. You get that done. If you're not good at sales and you don't think you're a salesperson, all I say to you is, have you ever dated before? Because I can tell you now, you're selling yourself when you're dating. So everyone's a salesperson. Get that out of your head. You're always a salesperson. So get a good sales process and a good database in place. Customer service, guys, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You know why? Because I'll guarantee everyone on the call will give so awesome customer service. I can guarantee it. Small business is all about customer service. The only thing I would suggest is communicate. Communication. Communicate to your prospects, communicate to your current customers a lot more than what you're actually doing. And that's customer service. The problem that I find with customer service in small business is they give 5-star service for 2-star rates, which means you're investing way too much time and energy trying to give amazing customer service when you're not charging enough. So don't go and increase your rates tomorrow. I'm not telling you to go and do that, but I want you to think about how you could actually streamline your customer service to be able to actually to negate that. So that would be something really good for your plan for customer service. Customer service is operations, how you deliver your product. So have you got bottlenecks on how you're delivering your product or service? Is there any bottlenecks there? Does it take a while? Do they not get the right goods? Is there any issues? So I would actually look at the plan, write customer service / operations up on the whiteboard, and have a look at the things you need to fix in the customer service areas. In the operations, I normally go straight for bottlenecks. I look at it, if I walk into your business tomorrow and I ask about your operations, I'll ask, right, how smoothly do you deliver your product? And if it's smooth, I'm going to go thumbs up, don't do anything, don't add it to any plans, let's move on. Most people have bottlenecks, though, in the way they deliver their product or service. So think about those bottlenecks. How do you fix them? What could you do to actually fix them? Okay? Finance and admin. Everyone should have on their plan targets for the month. Every single person. You should know what your break-evens are. If you haven't done your break-evens in a while, January plan is a good time to do them. Have a look at your break-evens. Have a look at your cash flow. Have a look at the targets you actually want to hit. Your break-evens should tell you the targets you need to reach, which in turn then should fix your KPIs. Every one of my clients gets a dashboard. They have to give me their KPIs, even though some of them are slack. I know there's a couple on the line. This is a reminder. I'm looking for November's KPIs that tell them what their maximum earning is, what their average dollar sale, where they're actually at, what their GPs are. Most people don't look at the numbers enough. So for your plan for 2016, put monthly KPIs in there. Write it in your diary that, okay, it's now the 10th of the month. I need to set my KPIs. And then for clients, write this in your diary. Do KPIs and send to Nathan. Okay, just no, do that. I will be hassling you guys, by the way. Anyway, so set your KPIs, get the right dashboards in place. Look at your numbers. Your numbers are key. Karen, I'm assuming it's okay to mention what you mentioned to me on Wednesday. I've been working with Karen a while now, and she said the best thing for this year that's ever happened is putting these KPIs in place. Is actually making the KPIs and seeing the numbers and understanding what she needs to do and where she needs to go from a numbers point of view. So, you've got to look at these type of things. So have a look at what you're actually doing from a finance point of view. A lot of people use the excuse, I don't know how to read my numbers. Learn. Put in your diary as part of your plan, I'm going to learn how to read KPIs. I've got a KPI webinar that I've actually done on how to read your numbers. It's on the history of KPIs in my website. Webinars on my website. You've got to learn this type of stuff as a business owner. You just don't rely on your accountant every year to go, oh, that wasn't a very good year, you better fix it next year. Oh my, look at it on a monthly basis. Find out where you're actually at. So very important you actually do that. Systems. I talked about before about which box you're going to tick. If you're going to tick the passive income box for your business for 2016, and that's where you're shaping it up, putting systems in place is absolutely key. Your team needs to run those systems. So your customer service systems, the way you actually deliver stuff, you're documenting, your videotaping systems. Put it down. Have a look at the top 20 systems you need to put in place in your business and go and video record them. Whenever I put systems in place for clients, I video record their actual system, video record it, and then I send it to a transcriber. They transcribe it into an actual procedure. I'm recording my screen at the moment. There's screen capture software that's free where you can say, right, this is how you enter an invoice into the accounting system. Do this, 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 this. So when a new person starts and they're in the accounting department, guess what? watch that video. That will show you how to enter an invoice into the system. It's, there's simple ways to generate systems for your business if that's what you need to do. Have a look at them. Don't write more than 20 systems if you're going to document systems. That's just insane. It's too much. Unless you're going to franchise your business where you need a complete systems manual as part of the franchise agreement, I wouldn't even contemplate writing too many systems. I would videotape most of them and have them on file. Make life easy. So, guys, team is the next focus. And I know you're probably thinking I'm gone really quickly through this. Every business is different. I'm giving you a couple of ideas. I want you to come back to me and go, right, this is a business I've got. How should I set my plan up to go and make $1 billion, right? So I'm happy to actually lead you in the right way to get that done. But team, again, if you're focusing on a passive income, some of you guys have teams, some of you guys don't. If you're purely focusing on the team stuff, let them know what their targets are. Make them hit their targets. Have 100% inclusion. Let them know what the business is all about. Put your culture statements in place. Put your accountability measures in place. Put your consequences in place. Have a team survey being done. It's the beginning of the year. Maybe it's time to ask the team, what was great about 2015? What didn't work well? What should we change for 2016? What would you like as a team to have out of 2016? These are the things that I want you to actually think about with team and your plan. I highly recommend doing a team planning day. Have your team sitting there for one of those days and asking them these questions. I do it with most clients. Get them in a room and go, guys, we're going to spend the next 3 hours setting out 2016, but I want to hear from you. Anything we talk about in this room will stay in this room. I'm not going to hold it against you when you get back out on the floor. Tell me what was great about 2015. Tell me what was bad about 2015. What would you like to see 2016 happening? And if you guys build that plan together as an entire team, I can tell you now, you're going to have the whole team on board when doing it. You really will. It's just a powerful tool to get done. So most of my clients now do them without me. I used to do a lot of them, but most of them do them without me now because they're just so used to doing it. And it's really successful in getting that done if you do have the team. So some really good things there, guys. Ultimately, at the end of the day, any plan, anything you try to achieve, anything. One, if you don't take action, it's not going to get there. Two, if you don't follow through on it, you're not going to get there. And I want you to try and break a cycle. If you're always one of these people that plan, have big plans, but reality is you just let life drift you there. Here's an analogy for you. Imagine you bought a cruise, a ticket on a cruise, but you didn't know where the cruise will go, because what they'd actually say is they go, right, what we're going to do is we're going to go out on port and then we're going to let the tides take us wherever we need to take to. You may end up in a really cool destination eventually, or you may end up in a really crappy destination, or you may not end up anywhere. Don't treat your business that way. Don't let the tides take you where you need to. Don't let your business dictate to you. You dictate the business where you want to go. And you do that, and I'm going to be honest, you do that by following your diary and follow through on your diary. It's the easiest way to get planning done. It really is. Have your dream boards. Go for it. Don't mind. But have a board that's actually got those goals, when you've got to achieve them, how, don't deserve what you tolerate, all of that stuff. Have that on a separate board that you're looking at that way more than your dreams. Because you do what's on that board, you'll get those dreams quite easily. And I can tell you now, my clients get those dreams. It may take them 2 to 3 years, but it gets their dreams. And I've been really lucky this year. I've had some really big highs with my goals. I've had some really big lows with the stuff that I've wanted to get done. But one of the biggest goals is we this year put a black belt in business. We actually promoted one of my clients of 6 years, and they've eventually got a black belt in business. They did one of two things. They actually got a business that was passive, and they were only working 1 to 2 hours a week in. And that's all they were working in, making good money. And they sold their business a couple of weeks ago for a very, very, very good amount. So it's been a really big high getting that black belt in business. But, that was 15 years of hard work. And I can tell you now it's paid off for them now. And they followed through on everything. They set their plans and they followed through on it. And that's the only reason that they got a black belt, because they did follow through on the stuff that they say they're going to do. So, guys, I'm going to be brief with this. If you want help with business planning for next year, in January, I have a few spots available. I do all my clients planning in January. I do have a few spots. If you want me to come out with your business, $880, I will actually sit down and help you plan. I will plan it. I will sit down and go through all your marketing, all your things. We will build a plan that you're going to love. I'll guarantee you'll love it. You'll get a really good plan. $880, I will do the plan. I will also be holding a planning workshop for some of my Path to Business Mastery clients. I'll give you the date of that soon. You can join in on that workshop where we'll be as a group planning for the whole year. And I will take you through marketing ideas. We can bounce ideas off each other. We'll do a group workshop mid-January, and we will just set the plan out for the entire year. And the other one, for the people that are overseas, I will do a 2 to 3 hour web session going through the whole stuff, with you, a couple of hours on a group web session where we go, right, guys, I want you to write down your marketing. This is what I want you to do. Think about this. You're in this business. This is how I'd actually look at the marketing. This is how I'd invest money. Again, I had a client invest $200 in AdWords every month, and they've literally quadrupled their business overnight. They really have. It's been absolutely awesome. So if you want help with the plan, I'll send you more information out. These are awesome. I have clients that just meet me every 3 months to redo their plans. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. You'll get so much out of them. So before giving away, what I'd love to do is hear from you guys. They've got quite a few people on the call. What was the number one thing you got out of today? Can you please write it in the questions box for me? The number one thing you got out of today, please. I'd love you to share. And hopefully I answered all the points at the beginning. Marketing ideas, clarity, knowledge, clarity of vision, developing a referral relationship. Nikki, I will talk to you about that individually. It's probably not the right one. How is more than why? Yep, I totally and utterly agree with that, Steve. Yes, booking your planning day, Heather. I haven't had a chance to talk to clients about January yet because I want to get December out of the way. Absolutely, Karen. 95% your questioning should be about how. Totally agree. Look, discipline, Barbara, discipline is one of the key elements. Discipline shouldn't be hard. Discipline shouldn't be painful. If you really want to get your goals, you'll actually get them. So much key to that. Yeah, absolutely, Jocelyn. The how is so important. It really is. I'm glad you like that how. I was contemplating when I was getting this webinar up whether that would be a good one to put in there. I'm glad. Yeah, you direct the business. Don't let the business direct you. Actually, I've got a better one, Heather. Don't let your customers direct the business where you actually want it to go. They have some feedback. If you've got crappy products and crappy service, they'll tell you they don't like you by not using you. But definitely don't be dictated by anyone else. And focus on the results, Rena. That's so important. Focus on the outcome of the results of the task. For all the fitness guys, people out there, you know how good it feels being fit. It really is, focus on that. I'm feeling great now after that run. I don't feel tired at all. So absolutely awesome. Plus, I've got to be there. Heather, yes, time to be selfish. Don't deserve what you tolerate. You know that. Yes, don't do that. Guys, I hope you really enjoyed this. It was a bit different. I told you it was going to be a bit in your face. And I'll be honest, planning shouldn't be hard. Don't overthink planning. This is what you're going to do. Put it in your diary and go and get it. I can't. I like making things simple. If you've got to punch someone in the head in martial arts, punch them in the head. Don't doodle around with it. Don't sit there and go, but my hips have to come in. My hand has to come in straight. I have to do. If you're going to hit someone in the head, hit them. That's really violent. I don't hit anyone in the head. I really haven't. I hopefully never will have to. But make it simple. If you want to kick someone in the head, don't sit there and spend 2 years stretching and be able to kick someone in the head. Smash their kneecap when they fall to the ground, then kick them in the head. Simple. Don't make it hard. Very important. So, guys, I'm going to leave you with a quick video. This will only be 2 seconds. This is me at a leadership course I was doing on leadership. And you know what? Everyone falls. I think someone mentioned, maybe Nikki, you mentioned that some of your marketing's not working. Well, don't give up on it. If it's good marketing and you know it should be working, just retweak it. everyone's going to fall. It's how you get up is most important. So here's me having a bit of fun at a leadership course. So I just throw myself on the ground. Yeah, and it's how you get up. I fall without hurting myself, and here's another one. Just jump up. Yeah, I love doing that type of stuff in workshops. Guys, it's not how you fall, it's not how hard you fall, it's how easy you get back up is such a key. And that's what I want you to think about with your plan. You may not get everything you want to on your plan, but it's, are you going to beat yourself up about it, or are you going to sit there and go, no, let's keep moving forward? So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. I want to wish you an awesome weekend, awesome Christmas. If I don't speak to some of you guys, clients, I will be talking to you, of course. Have some fun, guys. Enjoy, and I will send out all the stuff that I said I'd send out on Monday. Ash is back in the office on Monday, so I'll get her to get all of that done. Have a great week. Merry Christmas, all. If you want any help whatsoever, drop me an email. I'm more than happy to help you out and point you in the right direction. All right, guys. Have fun, and I will talk to you soon.